Hello and welcome. We have an interesting GT Sport video for you all today. We're going to be looking at a few races at Dragon Trail. We'll do a lap guide and then we'll assess a pretty serious accusation. Someone felt I was dirty during a race and they said as much in the comments afterwards. Timestamps for the various sections will be below. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Let's jump to the first race. A quick rundown of the race. We're at Dragon Trail for Daily Race B for 4 laps with no fuel use or tyre wear. So all the focus is on the racing. I worked on qualifying for a while as I've been absent from GT Sport for some time. You may have noticed that on the channel. After looking into F1 2020 and ACC on the PS4. Managed a pretty solid mid 138 in the Viper though. For this race, that got us a solid second place on the starting grid. You will see the replay camera pop up in the upper right corner. Most of the action from this race will be seen on there and on the radar. The Viper behind is pretty darn quick and has me working pretty hard to defend. Alright, coming down to the first corner. The main thing that we want to avoid is just not smacking into the guy in first, while also being mindful of the folks behind. So you're going to see here the guy in first is going to brake pretty early, which means we're going to go pretty slowly through this first corner. But that's okay, no one makes contact and we're through safely. So I think this is probably half the battle in any of the races in Gran Turismo Sport, is just making it through the first corner unscathed. Doing pretty well so far. The key in that corner we just went through is not to slam down on the power too quickly. It's pretty easy to spin over there. Down through this single file S section. Doing a pretty good job here on the first lap. Unfortunately, we've kind of lost the slipstream for the guy in first, so I'm not sure if we'll be able to catch that, especially with, if you look on the radar there, that guy is really close up behind us. So really my focus now is more behind than in front. Right, making it through the chicane of death is always a difficult prospect, and especially in a race, you know, you want to be a little bit more careful, probably do it a little bit more slowly than you could on like a qualifying lap. Made it through there okay, and you can see the guy behind, or the Viper behind, is really close up and looks like he might be lining himself up for a move here into this corner. But we just managed to outbrake him into this corner and managed to hold it around, get a better exit, and we keep in front. All in all, not a bad first lap, other than unfortunately losing the slipstream of the guy ahead. But let's see if if we can catch him throughout the rest of this race. Man, that guy is still lurking right up behind us. Just outbraked him again. Oh, and it looks like he outbraked himself a little bit there, went wide. Great, well that gives us a little bit of a cushion, just half a second. I'm sure he'll make that up on the next straight. Again through this corner, focusing not to slam down on the throttle so you don't spin the wheels and spin. Right through this S's, man, this guy is relentless. I think he might have given us just a nudge, but it's okay, no one got a penalty, good. This corner down here I seem to take really well for some reason. I just managed to do a really good job. You just kind of noticed that throughout the races that I did. Alright, here we go again, chicane of death. Oof. Man, every time that second part of that chicane is just nuts. And it looks like the Viper behind is still really close. It's less than 2/10. A little bit worse way to take that corner, but we're doing all right. .139.9. It's not too bad, but I know I can go quicker. And that Toyota ahead is just 2 seconds. Seems like he's increasing that gap. It's unfortunate. Viper behind is still all over us. got to try not push too hard. We don't want to make a mistake here. We want to make sure that the Viper behind is the one that makes the mistake. So just driving our line, hitting our braking points, trying not to go out wide. Oh, and as I say that, go a little wide through the S's, but fortunately both of us did, so we both kind of get the same run out of there. Oh, and he is right on me. Okay, third lap here through the chicane of death. Let's see if we both can survive. Gap is 0.4 of a second. Let's see. Oh, he's made a mistake. He has made a mistake. Awesome. Oh, man. Now we just got to focus and bring this home. It's one more lap. I think relatively safe to say the guy ahead he's got this in the bag. Alright, and that's pretty much going to be that race, so we're going to go ahead and skip ahead to the finishing, and a little bit of a faster lap there. That's good. Alright, we make it through the rest of the last lap okay, and we've kind of found ourselves in this no man's land of 2 seconds behind the Toyota in first and 2 seconds ahead of the person in third. So yeah, we're going to come across the line for a pretty good result in second. Feel sorry for that Viper. He did a great job. Just unlucky with that third round through the chicane. Alrighty, guys. Well, good result. Alright, for the second race here, that same quali time got us into a pole position actually, which is not bad for our second race back in GT Sport. Alrighty, so let's see what we can do here. The big thing about starting in pole position is just keeping an eye on that radar going down into the first corner, because we don't want to get lambasted from behind. Alrighty, we are off. Doesn't look like anybody is right up behind us, which is good. Going into the first corner, you'll be able to brake a little later than usual because we're not quite at that full top speed that we would be approaching under normal circumstances. Alright, and we make it through there with no issues. Looks like we got a little bit of a gap. Close to a second actually going through here. Alright, and if you remember, I told you guys about this tricky corner where you need to not get your foot on the accelerator too soon or too fast because it'll make you spin really easily. So your mama, who is behind us, is going to make that very mistake, and you'll see in the upper corner of the screen that happens. And that just gets us a nice 2-second cushion or so, which is fantastic. So I kind of take it easy for a little bit of a lap, and Shago does a great job in catching up, and we're just gonna skip to the end of the race because he gets it down to about 0.8 of a second, but then I go into a different gear and pull ahead to about 0.2 of a second by the end again. So let's go ahead and skip to the end of this race. As you can see, we have pulled ahead by about 2 seconds at this point, ahead of the driver in second. For a great second race back in GT Sport. Got our first victory here. We're going to jump across to our other account now. I wanted to see if I could race with some people a bit more, but at the same time I was afraid for my ratings, and that's pretty much the reason why I have the second account. You know, a lot of YouTubers online have been getting reset, and I really didn't want that to happen on my primary account, so jumped across. I set a quali lap in the mid 139s to try and get in the front half of the grid. Let's hop over to that. Alright, we're over in our other account now, and as you can see, we're the bright AMG there in the 4th position on the grid. So let's see what we can do from here. This time we really do have to be careful going down into turn 1, as we do have people both ahead and behind us. Right off the line, we're going to move over and try and tuck into the slipstream of the car ahead. Alright, this first kink is going to be flat out, and we should still be able to brake a little bit later for this turn than we usually would have to. Everybody brakes a little bit early, but we're through clean, we don't get whacked from behind, so all good. Everyone's through very neatly. Careful through this next turn. Oh, and we brake too late as we go right into the Brazilian ahead. Okay, so I'm going to pull over off to the side here and just wait until he gets going. Just brake a fraction too late. Oh, and then opportunistic American passes right by, which is fair enough. I mean, that was completely my mistake. So now we find ourselves here in 5th as we go through the single file S section. Alright, we're going to go down this hill into that sharp turn. I tend to take this really well, and I brake way later than everybody else, so it just forces me to delay my turn in and go out wide. I would have made that corner, but I didn't want to smack into anybody, and that brings the Argentinian right up next to us on the run to the chicane, but he gets squirrely. Fortunately, we go single file through the chicane as the American ahead he gets claimed. The first victim of the chicane of death. And we're back in 4th position where we started. The Argentinian's pulling up alongside us again. He just brakes way early, which is fair enough, you know. Trying to hold it around the outside, and he gets loose again on the exit, so get a better run out of that corner as we reclaim our starting position. Watch the radar as we drive through here for the Argentinian behind, as well as the replay cam. The drivers ahead have at this point pulled out ahead by about 2 seconds, and we have to now attempt to close that. We, on our other account, had a faster qualifying time than they did, so hopefully that means we'll be able to catch them. As the Argentinian just buries himself behind us. Alrighty. So we're going to skip ahead now to the last lap, which is my fastest lap, and we can see how we do. Let's do a lap here at Dragon Trail. Alright, down this long straight, you want to go full tilt all the way down the straight, stay wide on the left hand side here, and then come tight through this first little bend. For the first corner, you're going to brake somewhere between where the grass ends and the curb starts. You're going to trail brake all the way down into the corner while pointing your nose towards the inside of that corner, otherwise you won't make it through there. As soon as you're through, you can start getting back on the power. Change gears, it'll help your nose turn in, and then power out through the corner. Down through this next kink, you're going to have a very gentle lift and be very careful not to go over the edge, and then brake at the edge of the grass as it transitions into gravel. Trail braking down into this corner, kind of the same thing here. Get your nose pointed towards the apex and then slowly power out through the exit here, because it's very easy to spin your rear wheels and spin. Alrighty, full tilt down here, and you're going to brake immediately following this little orange area, and then trail brake into this corner, go down into 3rd gear. Well, it depends on the car really, and then sacrifice through that first bend so that the next 2 parts of this S can be full tilt. Get a nice exit here and a good run down towards the hill. Down the hill, here we go, and this next braking point is going to be right here at the start of the curb. In some cars, go brake a little bit later, trail brake down into this corner, nice straight line, before starting to rotate that nose in. Apex right over that curb over there on the inside, and then start getting slowly on the power here. Again, it's very easy to spin the rear wheels and send yourself into a spin, so slowly get on the power, gear up, get into third gear before you get wheel spin, and then go down towards the chicane of death. First part you can try get through without a lift. I lift very gently here during this lap. And then here, it's all about throttle management, the second part. There's going to be a lift here so that you can get your nose turned in, and then you're going to go full tilt out so you can exit through the chicane of death. Alrighty, as we approach this last corner, the braking point is going to be at the start of this curb here. And you're going to trail brake down into the corner in a straight line, and then get into second to help you rotate around through the corner, and then as you exit, you're going to go up to third pretty quickly. And as you can see, we're very close up to the guy in third here. Almost going to pass him across the line. And man, that was a close race. We almost caught them. Almost caught them. Still a good result though. I'm happy with that. Alrighty, so this next race is the one you've been waiting for. It's the one where we get called dirty at the end. Well, let's see if it's true. Alright, ladies and gents, welcome to the Defense of SimRaceTrain. We are going to be taking a look at all the incidents that happened in this race. If you want to see the full race, I'm going to post that separately without commentary. But for the purposes of this, we're just going to do a breakdown of all the incidents. I hope you guys enjoy. Alright, so we actually managed to have a very clean first lap. We start in pole and maintain first place all the way through the lap, with the driver in second right on our tail the whole way through. As we finish the lap, he gets a good run out of the last corner and onto the long back straight, and that's where our problems start. So here we are, going through the last corner, and as you can see, he's pretty close up behind. He's even on the radar, and we get a good exit out of the corner, but you know, he's got the slipstream down this long back straight. So you know, I just look behind and it seems like he's still quite a distance away. I keep an eye on the radar, see he's not there yet. Going around this corner, I look at the radar, look away from the radar to focus on my braking point, hit my braking point, and don't look back at the radar, and boom, he's there. So I admit, in this case, and you know, just as the replay of that is playing, this was my fault. I turned into him. That was my bad. You know, at the time I thought, whoa, where did that guy come from? But when I look back at the replay, I saw what really happened, and you know, you should have had a move there. So we rectify this on the next lap. Lastly, we'll just go to the chase cam here from the other driver's perspective, and you'll kind of see that I closed the door on him, but I really didn't know that he was there. Alright, let's move on to the next incident. Okay. So we make it through the whole lap without incident. We're ahead, don't touch anyone, do a good lap. Out of the last corner, he gets a much better run than we do, and you'll see him on the radar here. Now I see him on the radar also, which is why I'm making a move to stay on the inside of this turn. So I'm on the outside of the next turn and back on the inside into the next turn. So I know that he's there, which means I'm going to delay my braking a little bit, delay my turn in, give him space, and then on the next corner I'm supposed to have the inside, but he just slams the door on me. So, I don't know. I think that that's him not giving me enough space there. No, you know, he should have known that I was on the inside there and had nowhere to go. And we'll see it from his perspective as well now. So again, I feel like I'm giving him plenty of space, and then he's just going to slam the door on me. Right here, just close it, and I have nowhere to go. Okay, let's move on to the next. So we get through a part of the lap without a problem. I get a good run out of the S's, and you'll see me start to catch him. He brakes much earlier than I expect, so this is kind of a repeat of the incident on turn 1, except roles reversed. I make a good move on the inside. He should have seen me there, and then he just kept turning in on me. I wasn't going to go very deep into the corner at all. I felt like I was staying relatively close to the inside there. So I then proceeded as if this was a racing incident. He was on the outside, I was on the inside. And I make it stick through the chicane of death, basically. So let's go back and watch it from my chase cam perspective. Okay, so here you'll see again, I feel like there's enough space for both of us to get around this corner without touching. And it seems like he's got time to react, but he just doesn't. So he made the same mistake that I did in the first turn, I think, here. And then we make it stick. Let's move on. Alright, in the very next corner, watch the radar here. He's going to come from behind and he's going to attempt to punt us. He does not succeed, and we manage to stay on the track even though we go a little wide. And he goes off. You might have seen his arrow go off there, so we'll watch it from his perspective. But again, called me dirt, and yet he did that. Alright, so here we go, coming out of the chicane, going into the last corner, which is the hairpin. You're just going to see him brake and go straight into the back of me. Brake really late and go straight into the back of me. He wanted to punt me off here. 100% assuredly he wanted to punt me off here. And then he goes for me again, but misses and ends up going off. I don't know. In my opinion, that's purposeful bad driving. But that's just me. On to the next one with a different driver this time, going down into turn 1. I'm on the outside this time, so I'm going to attempt to squeeze him a little bit, and I don't think that he realizes that's what I'm going to do, and we kind of go into each other. I maintain the inside after maintaining control of the car and maintain the lead of the race. I just classify that as a racing incident. But yeah, let me know if you guys agree or disagree. Here's my perspective from the chase cam, I should say. So I know that he's there. I'm going to try and squeeze him. So the line that I would take there is basically over the curb if I was on the inside there. And then here's the driving perspective of the same incident. So I maintain the inside there, make my braking point, and then continue on. And then from here on, we go on to lead the rest of the lap without issue and win the race. You know, not a ton of incidents, but enough to make it kind of an incident-filled race. Again, you know, my interactions with that Brazilian driver, the few incidents that we had, I thought for the most part were racing incidents. And then just that one move where it seemed anyway to me that it was a purposeful punt that we were lucky to escape. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know if you enjoyed the video, and look for more content just like this coming soon. Thank you so much.